You know, you sit here and you read the headlines and you see the social media, and the world comes to you in this digital format today. You know, back in the day, you had radio, you had print, you had some TV. I can remember when the television started out. I say started out, I mean, you had 3 channels. I'm sure the older folks knew, watched it a little bit further. But it amazes me with the pandemic, what we just lived through, and it's hard to imagine people not being held responsible. But nobody's held responsible at the government level, ever. From 9/11 to the pandemic, to this, to that, the war in Ukraine. Look what's going on there. I mean, the money laundering, the money printing, the money laundering, whatever you want to call it. I'm blown out of the water. And my friend told me that I needed to unplug and get away from the COVID thing. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 25 years. I take care of people. I try to. And that's what's so frustrating. It's hard enough taking care of Americans as it is, or humanity, without Anthony Fauci and his pharmacy boys concocting a virus to then concoct a vaccine to then make billions. Unreal. And, I've had some friends take this shot. I know some adverse reactions. I know some deaths. And I told my friend that told me I needed to unplug, I said, dude, it's hard for me to do that when a lady who's the salt of the earth that ran the senior center down in a community just south of here and was a good Christian woman who's worked her whole life, lives on a farm, has a great husband, and yet she went and took this damn shot, and next thing you know, she dies of COVID-19. Now, there was no autopsy, but that's what they said. So, and then when she called me from the hospital room, she was in ICU at Vanderbilt Hospital. She was begging me to have her transferred out of there. I'm a case manager and, whatnot, but there's a lot of that, there's a lot that goes into that. And I said, Nora, listen, you just got to sit back, let the BiPAP work for you. She did not want to be intubated. They kept every 15 minutes they'd come in, do you want to be intubated? Do you want to be intubated? She's like, no, I don't want to be intubated. And she's like, Scott, get me out of here. And then within 48 hours, she was dead. And then her husband cried to me on the phone about the damn shots not being worth a damn. But nobody's going to be held responsible. They weren't during 9/11. They're not going to be held responsible now. Republicans can, do what they want, have an investigation. There'll be no indictments. These people kill at will innocent people through their propaganda machine, and it's just sad. And, every once in a while I'll tie one on, and I probably do drink too much sometimes. But I'm wrestling with a lot of this that I've sat here and witnessed. And, like I said, being a doctor, being a nurse is a tough-ass fucking business as it is. But for them to have pulled off what they just did, and I urge everybody to read Kennedy's book. It's well bibliography. It's history. And that's what's so mind-boggling to me. Especially after I'd been in prison for selling a controlled substance, harming no one. There was no victim in that. I didn't propagandize somebody to buy cocaine. But either way, I went to prison. I broke the law. I served my time. But, while I was in there, I did a lot of reading about why I was there, why drugs are illegal, what's the politicking and the history behind that, blah, blah, blah. And what I witnessed was just a lot of black youth selling weed on the street, trying to hustle $1 because they're not because they're not picking cotton anymore and there are no jobs. So, and they just lock them up in prisons. And while in there, I fingerprinted 2 people hours before they went to the electric chair. So what I'm getting at is I get out, rebuild my life, go back to school, get a pardon, do everything that society asks me. Everything the government, the government, the people that just did this to you. Everything the people that elect these fucking idiots. I did everything that was asked. And then I worked as hard as I have over the last few years. I said the last few years, the 25 years, in the ER and the ICU and IV therapy and radiology and seeing patients and working overtime and doing nights, weekend nights in the ER. I've seen it all. And for them to do what they just did, I mean, I knew the system was corrupt. I just didn't know it was this corrupt. I mean, they say power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely, but same goes for the bank. I mean, you keep printing the money. I told my son this. I said, when you go off to college and you go to the fraternity party, just imagine you had the ability to print money. I said, who's going to be the coolest motherfucker at the frat house? He said, I am. I said, bingo. And the love of money, it's the root of all evil, but when you can wave it up under somebody's nose, there you have it. Peace.